Hello, my wonderful spirit guides. Today I'm going to be reacting to Caligula by Lingua Ignota, and I'm really looking forward to it, but I am, a little bit nervous. I've been a bit hesitant because, Lingua is a very, everything she puts into her work is her pure, pain. Do you know what I mean? So it's it's kind of agonizing as well as a great listen. I somewhat find it amazing that there's so many fans of her in a way, because it is just so unique. And obviously everything has a little niche and so on like that. But this is something like something I've never heard before, absolutely. And I think that's what makes it so special and what makes so many people like it. People love authenticity and people love, people expressing themselves. I think that's also why I loved the last album too, and just it was so beautiful as well as, of course, painful in parts. But I've heard that this album might be even more so quite painful or hard to listen to. So I guess we'll see how it goes. I've made sure that I'm in a good space to listen. So yeah. Also, makeup wise, I don't know, I've just made something up basically. It kind of looks like little sweet wrappers, but you know what I mean, kind of, but it also looks like vampire teeth, so you can make of it what you will. But I kind of liked it. I thought it looked a bit different. We get the lighting a bit better, you can see it better then. But anyway, let's get on with it. Just got to adjust my pillows. Right. Also, if you just see my double chins coming out, it's because coming out like they pop out like hello. I've got pillows down here and it pushes my back out, so it pushes my neck back. So it's good for my back, but the double chins do kind of say hello. They're there and they're like, oh, living freely. Okay. Anyway, let's get on with it. If you'd like to become a patron, please do. Got lots of stuff going on there. You'll probably seen the list on the YouTube community tab and so on. And yeah, other links like Instagram. If you follow me, I'll follow you back if you want me to. And yeah, like and subscribe, of course. That's the main one, isn't it? All right, let's go for it then. So the first song is called Faithful Servant, Friend of Christ. Okay, bit of a dramatic name, isn't it? Let's go for it. I think they're all going to be dramatic names, aren't they? Very biblical and so on. But anyway, let's go for it. I like that dark brooding sound with some actually quite light and pretty strings, very contrasting, and it just works. I really do like an intro like this. It feels like a real intro because things just keep rising into existence. You're arriving, Number one, what I felt like when that cello, I think it is, came in. Oh, I'm taking this off. It looks awesome. It's huge and it's great, but get off. Anyway, what I felt like the cello, I did actually already feel like a real onset of quite a deep emotional feeling, and the emotional feeling wasn't quite sadness or pain. It was actually something quite spiritual. So yeah, I thought that, I don't know, that I just felt like I had to say it. And her voice coming in with it, just, it's an experience. I love her register. Oh. Yeah, sorry, but I love the register of her voice. Just most glorious and holy light. At the back, it's almost like you're doing a half yawn. Oh, do a half yawn. And obviously it doesn't sound like, oh, like Eeyore, but she pushes it a little bit more, like, to be, you know, within her voice, but that's the kind of shape she's making at the back of her throat, and all her mouth movements will all be very, oh, you know, not ah or e, it's ah. So holy light. It just sounds good. It sounds haunting. It sounds, you know, it gives her an effect that doesn't make her seem so soft. You know, it gives her some strength and a little bit of like seriousness. And of course, it just matches with the music, doesn't it? Beautiful. You can just hear how close those harmonies are together, like a real sort of choir. But she was like, ah, and another was like, ah, and they're both quite low tones. So it's interesting to have them so close together, but it gives it that like organ effect, you know. Yeah, it's interesting, just loads of tones layered on top of each other, giving it that grandiose feeling too. I could see a lot of Gothic imagery, especially like a Gothic fence, you know, like with the, I don't know what they're called, what the fences are called, but like it had like the little like spike black metals, you know, like spikes on top. You know what I mean, like those Gothic looking ones. Yeah, that was like a really like strong image at the forefront of my mind. Very bizarre, right? Obviously a lot of biblical stuff, crucifixes, dark angels, light angels, cathedrals, and so on. It makes sense. Also, you know, my face is just like quite serious, you know, so I'm just really, this sort of music, obviously with that, I'm not going to be like, oh, you know, I'm in it, you know, I'm just really picturing what I see. So a lot of it will be, my reaction may just seem pretty, I don't know, lackluster, but I think you'll understand, because you have listened to the album. So I don't know how the rest of the songs are going to go, of course, but don't for 1 minute think I'm bored. I'll tell you if I am. I'm just really listening. Okay. Next song is called Do You Doubt Me, Traitor? That's a title, isn't it? Let's go. Love that. It's so low, but it's not muddy. It's just got a nice gravel. Oh, she's quite vulnerable here. Beautiful. So chilling and vulnerable.
Every stone on every mountain is etched with my name. Is slaked with poison.
Oh, I like that.
If you rise,
it's like harsh.
to heaven,
it shows, like, even though her voice sits very nicely within the mix, it sounds quite far away, you know. Well, in the mid of the mix, she's definitely up close singing it, because you can hear her every little breath, low note that almost is a whisper, and her, you know, her little like how she pronounces her consonants, whatever they're called. I think so. It's very up close to the mic, giving it every vulnerable part of her. Yeah.
If you sleep deep in hell, I have chains to bind you.
Oh, she's good. Okay, sorry, I'm talking a lot about the vocals. It's just, it's what I'm picking up on. I go with what I feel. She's been very, oh, do, and now she's literally gone into a, if you sleep in hell, I have chains that bind you. I can't go that low. Yeah. Anyway, it's like she's managed to get some of those low notes up into a nasal passage. So I've been like, do, 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 it's da, da, da. So, and she's flipped that in such a good storytelling way, a way that like really characterizes what she's saying. It, you know, it meant something to her to do that. That kind of voice can sound a little bit more mischievous. It could sound a little bit more sinister, a lot less emotional, because there's not less cry tone. A cry tone is in the and you can't really hear any like cry emotion in it. So it's a little bit more sinister.
Satan, 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 get beside me. Satan, fortify me.
Wow. Just want to see what fortify means. Is it like build a fort around you? Yeah. Provide a place with defensive works as protection against attack. So in a weird way, it's like she's asking, oh, this brings a lot of personal stuff to me, but Satan get beside me, and Satan basically form a protection around her, because Satan is not who she's afraid of. It's probably God, and whoever else, you know, worshippers of God that may have hurt her. So.
I don't eat, I don't sleep, I don't eat, I don't sleep. How do I break you before you break me? How do I break you?
All I can say is, I don't think you can do that twice, you know? I think once she's done that, that was it. You know, I don't think you can go, oh, can we do another take of that? Nah, that's it then. That's real. I love how it's like a drum roll. Building so much tension. A question that isn't being answered. A desperate question. Mania. Well, it seems weird to pause there, but I am going to. You know, how do I break you before you break me? How? The repetition is that she's not getting her answer. Unfortunately, there really isn't one, and really there shouldn't be one, in the sense of, depending on what it's about, do you know what I mean? But it's not about breaking someone who hurt you, it's about building you back up. But that's not a criticism, that's to say I get this. Yeah, definitely I get this. But it feels like a breakdown for sure. This whole thing feels like a breakdown and just desperation. Just like, I'm sick, I can't do this anymore, like this is like driving me crazy, I am in agony, like, how do you get to do horrible things and break me, and you can just walk around freely smiling? But she's almost being like, no, I'm not gonna let you break me, I want to, but I want to break you, but I don't know how, but I want to. And she's so desperate, like so desperate. It's just like, it is very painful, and all that drum roll and off kind of haunting keys, it sounds very manic, it seems out of control. And when you can get in those dark places, it can feel just like this sounds, absolutely. And it's tense, that drum roll. Normally when you have a drum roll, you're waiting for something, like da-da! But this is just like a never-ending drum roll, and I don't know where it will land. I wonder if it will land on something, a release, but will it land on a release of positivity, or will it land on depression, like the depression after a breakdown? Sometimes you can have a breakdown and afterwards all you feel is this detachment, guilt, shame, sadness, and so on. So we'll see.
All this is ended.
Wow. Oh, it's almost demonic in a way.
Remember how I loved
Wow. That just thudding drum as well. It's very impending.
Your flag flies above every door.
Yeah, just here on Genius, I could click on those lines. My friends all wear your colours, your flag flies above every door. So I did click on it, and I just had a little skim as I was listening. It says, this speaks to the reality that many victims of SA experiences, which is that their assaulter and abuser is likely someone they know, and the people in their committees may not reject the I don't know if I can say that. The horrible person, I'm going to call them. Horrible people can retain positions of honour in communities despite their horrific actions. I know that. Unfortunately, firsthand, I know that on a lot of occasions. Unfortunately. And that's a lot of why people were warning me about this, album too, is because I relate very heavily. If you don't know anything about me, then yeah, I'm a survivor of SA on multiple counts and childhood SA. So yeah, I'm so grateful to people to let me know about it. But actually, I just very much relate. And the next line she actually says, "But bitch, I smell you bleeding and I know where you sleep. Do you doubt me, traitor? Throw your body in the effing river. I'm the CUNT killer. And I don't eat, I don't sleep, I don't eat, I don't sleep." There's a little bit of power there, I feel. It's angry, but it's powerful. It's very like, I know what you are. I can, and I might just come and get you. It's a threat. And I'm the CUNT killer is interesting because she's telling him that's what she is and he's a CUNT, but she kills CUNTs. However, on the reverse side, I feel like, it sounds awful, but I feel like she already feels like he did that to her on her actual, genitalia. He killed it, he did what he wanted to it. But now she's calling him the CUNT himself, and she's going to kill him. I don't know. It's like, do you hear what I'm saying? I think you might. It's hard to describe it properly without getting in there, But yeah, wow.
And I know where you sleep.
speed up in the vocal.
Do you doubt me, traitor?
Just this like steady beat just makes me feel like they're heading somewhere. You know? Like Judgment Day. A pounding, you know?
And I don't eat, I don't sleep, I don't eat, I don't sleep.
Very good. Oddly, that little bit at the end, the a cappella moment with just the vocals, sounded oddly cheery without that pounding drum. Like, you know, it had a bit more of like a sweeter sound. I found that quite interesting. So yeah, also that drum kind of reminded me of the song Family by Bjork, in the sense of, I remember when I reacted to that song, I said it sounded like a big judge like hitting their hammer, their gavel down on the on the surface, and it felt like it was coming after them, like kind of like Judgment Day almost. You know, it had that similar sound again, that kind of like scary feeling, I suppose. Yeah. Okay, next song is called Butcher of the World. Wow, that's very subtle. Wow, it sounds so far away. Kind of Western. Clever. Oh, do you know what I could see? That's interesting. I could see like a huge battlefield, right? And I could see all these like knights and horses, but also like a big band, you know, playing all these instruments all in the background, and I could see it really far away. As soon as she comes in like that, I see her at the very forefront, you know, quite like a close up, not too close up where it's like in your face, but like definitely a good like 20 meters ahead of the crowd, and she's just screaming, you know, covered in blood, like she's been in a battle, and she's screaming at the other, you know, the other people in the battle, the enemies. God, me and words sometimes. And she's just screaming at them, you know, putting fear into them, and she's got nothing to lose. Getting a bit closer. Terrifying. Feels like she's sending everyone forward to fight, and she stood in the middle, just screaming, stagnant. See a lot of dead bodies. Sorry. Beautiful crescendo.
May another
Gorgeous. Wow. It can almost sound oddly romantic, but it's obviously the opposite. It's almost sarcastic, but not. Wow. Beautiful.
Strikes me down.
Chills.
As I make prayer for him.
If this is still about that horrible person, it sounds like, yeah, someone that she loved.
Your own shame.
I love that line. May your own shame hang you. Beautiful. That's incredible. And like those, well, it kind of goes into the next song. I think they all do a little bit, but that just also reminds me of there was a boy, a very strange, enchanted boy, by Nat King Cole. And on my favourite movie, Moulin Rouge. However, obviously, it's just so interesting because it's like she's singing softly, may your foes be many, may your days be few, may never steal what you stole. And she's singing it in such an almost angelic, sweet, vulnerable way. It's like there's some sarcasm there, like she's being like, you know, may your foes be many. You know, like there's something a little bit like passive aggressive about it. May your own shame hang you. I love that line. Oh, wow, it's so incredible to think that she wrote really a whole album about this sort of thing. And I do get it. I've written a few songs myself about this sort of thing. And she just lays it out there on the table. I hope this fucker hears it and feels it and knows that so many people hate him. I'm sure he gets to feel all that, but it doesn't really take away from the pain that she feels. But anyway, next song is called May Failure Be Your Noose. Oh, again, going off of Let Your Own Shame Hang You, and then May Failure Be Your Noose. It's the same thing in a certain way, but like, not quite. But I like it. I like that. Wow.
Who will fuck you if I won't?
That's interesting.
Who will fuck you if I won't? May failure be a garment to wrap around you.
I like that.
May failure be a noose with which to hang you. Who will love you if I don't?
Wow, very interesting.
Failure be a garment to wrap around you.
I like the way she says that. May failure be a garment to wrap around you. That's obviously an emphasized version, but it has got a little bit of a twang, or like a little bit of a there's an accent on it. Reminds me of Joanna Newsom a little bit, which I will be reacting to soon. I like that. He'll love you if I don't, he'll F you if I won't. You know, that's interesting. And sometimes I don't know whether it's her talking to him or him talking to her. Like, I don't know sometimes. And like, I don't know if that's like a bad thing, but, or maybe it's meant to feel that way a little bit. I believe it's her talking to him. You can still imagine, say, quite a horrible person saying that to someone to put them down. But you can also imagine someone who's been hurt by a horrible person saying it to them, because it's like she's saying, you're not a very lovable person, you're not very great, so why are you doing this to me? Why are you hurting me when you probably won't be able to get anyone else? I don't know, it's got a mixture of things. I'm not entirely sure on it, but I do like the way this one's moving. I'm already singing to it because I feel like I can. I love that distorted, crackly sound. It reminds me of like rappers, like sweet rappers, but like not like loud like a sweet rapper or like tinny, but like there's some sort of cellophane or something too, or like being pulled, like, you know, like pulling. Yeah, it's really hard to describe, but singeing, a little bit of a singe sound. Oh. Wow. Oh, that's beautiful.
Everything burns down. Everything burns down.
Wow.
Everything burns down.
It scares me so much when that happens. Like I genuinely feel fear. Like, I'm just going to say something. I don't know if I said it on my last video, I don't know. Like, honestly, like, music that is kind of, you know, church-like or, I don't know, religious. I don't know the word. But, like, I used to call it funeral music. But anyway, like, it's always scared me because when I was younger, my dad, my real dad, who I don't talk to, he like put on this record once when I was at his house, and he put it on really loud, and it was like really loud, like I said, funeral music. It's the only way I could describe it when I was little, because it was so morbid and dark and loud and crackly and ferocious, and all the sounds together just sounded so evil and scary. It felt like death itself when I heard it, and I remember just crying and covering my ears, and he was literally laughing maniacally. Like, he was like, and honestly, if you saw my dad's face, his eyebrows generally do like the Jack Nicholson, like, you know, like that. It's like, you know, he looked scary. Like my dad's like a very eccentric like person. He likes spooky things. Like, you go to his house and he'd have like doll heads with and a doll head's attached to like a baby's doll's arm, and like he'd have like interesting ornaments. I remember watching the movie Freaks when I was like 5 at his house, and if you know what that film is, it's a black and white circusy film that was really creepy. Obviously, I'm down for people being a little bit eccentric and spooky like that. Yeah, of course I am. I mean, you know, I am too. But he did it in a almost not a nice way. Not almost. He didn't do it in a nice way. He also wasn't a nice person. He, you know, was actually extremely, well, it was a lot of DV that he did to my mum. Anyway. But so weirdly, this music, when it like bursts in like that, it gives me a little flash of fear, not just because it's meant to, as in it is kind of like a scary sound, of course, like it's meant to be that way, but it also gives me that extra little touch of remembering that like darkness as a child when I heard it. But now that I'm applying this darker sound to what these songs are about, it just makes so much sense. You know, it feels right because it does feel like that. It is that horrific and horrible, and, well, the experience I'm on about, by the way, like, it is that just guttural, you know, revolting kind of thing to have to go through, and that, especially what it feels like afterwards, that is how painful it is. But yeah, we've got a bit dark in here, haven't we? I mean, I don't mind it being a little bit dark, you know.
Everything
about how everything burns.
Everything burns down around me. Everything burns
Okay, and it's gone into the next song. But wow, that's so like, yeah, good. And also when I was talking about that funeral music that I was talking about when I was a kid, it didn't sound actually like this, by the way, but I'm saying it can often, when it bursts in like that, can give me the same feeling, if that makes sense. Like this has definitely a lot more taste to it. Actually nice sound, it actually sounds good, do you know what I mean? But yeah. So next song is called Fragrant Is My Many Flowered Crown. Curious. Yeah. Nice little overtones. And she's moving it. No. That's cool. She's literally, to do that, you have to kind of like push your tongue back and forth. No. I'm not doing it the way she's doing it very well, but it's, you're going inside your mouth and using a lot of your nose as well. Oh, I'll hear it again. I like that. I like the experimentation. It's like when you have an electric toothbrush in your mouth. Ow, wow.
What will you say of the bond we had? Tender comrade, for I have learned all men are brothers, and brothers only love each other.
Wow. That's interesting.
Brothers in each other's arms. Oh, the love God would allow, but all God's love means nothing now.
I'm very curious about like, I mean, I can get a gist of what they mean, especially for I've learned all men are brothers and brothers only love each other. I get that like completely, but I'm also interested in like all the love God would allow, but all God's love means nothing now. I think I'm quite curious, but if you'd like to give me some more insight on what the song means, I'd love that because I really do like reading about it.
The bitter blood of many foes sustains me, and heavy is my hammer swinging round.
Interesting.
Fragrance is my many flowered crown.
That's interesting. So I've clicked on, actually their lyrics were highlighted so I could have a little look. Someone's written, here Lingua Ignota is informing the audience of her fantasies to bludgeon and murder those who wronged her, especially the man or men who have hurt her. The thought of her violently hurting, you know, her enemies is what keeps her alive in a world where she clearly doesn't want to live in, as it causes her much suffering. So basically the thoughts of doing that can make her feel good about carrying on in a way. That anger is what drives her, and you know, fight is a survival response. Fight, flight, freeze, and fight it's like she's living in constant fight mode, and it's what's keeping her surviving. And here it says the stanza ends with a juxtaposing statement that demonstrates Lingua Ignota's amazing way of constructing an aesthetic to her music. The previous lines demonstrate violent imagery and traditionally unfeminine things. However, Lingua embraces her femininity, informing the audience that while she's destroying her enemies, she's adorned with a crown of flowers, something delicate and feminine. Yeah, it makes sense. I was wondering if I was going to be, there might still be, but I was wondering if there's something more to that. I don't know, I don't want to come across, I don't know, crass or whatever, but I don't think I am. I think I'm going to say it proudly. I was actually wondering as well if flowered could mean something to do with her genitalia as well, because obviously genitalia can often be shown as like a flower-like thing. So, you know, I was wondering about that kind of femininity too, to bring extra femininity to it, if that makes sense. I'm not saying she's saying how fragrant is my vagina crown, but she might be, you know, something, it's just extra feminine, but with so much power. And the fragrant can be just like oozing that feminine power again, you know what I mean? So it could be that too.
Fragrance is my many-flowered crown.
Oh, gorgeous melismas. Ooh. Little trill. Not quite a trill. I love how she says many flowered crown. She just has flowers in abundance. That's a lot of life, you know, all those flowers. Nice. Beautiful. I love that. She's got really awesome fry tone. She really hones in on it as well. And it's so like, you know, deep and like kind of incredible. But yeah, I love it. And that fry tone will also help her get into those wilder screaming moments too. Like she probably does it because using like that can really like help your voice actually. Also in singing in general, so if you've been singing high for a long time, I often, if I go la, you know, I'm singing high, I often go oh, because putting it in a fry tone can bring it back to neutral. Then you can sing low, then you can sing high. Obviously you can sing low and high whenever you want, but the fry tone can really bring your voice back to neutral. So it's like probably doing all that fry tone all the time can help her go up and down like she does in that way. Okay, next one is called If the Poison Won't Take You, My Dogs Will. Apparently that means Lord have mercy. Okay, before I go into this, I'm just going to read a little bit about what lyrics are about first. I'm just ready for it. Because I clicked on the first verse and it says, Eileen, I'll only say this once. I am the best friend you'll ever had. All this is meaningless without me. And I clicked on that, and it says, the lyrics of this song are a sort of recontextualization of the Jonestown death tape, an audio recording documenting the mass murder unaliving carried out by the People's Temple in 1979. I know a lot about it. I've read the book about Jim Jones himself, and many of documentaries, because I find it fascinating, that kind of cult that it's awful, but just, you know, I was very interested in it for a moment. These particular lines rephrase a quote from the tape said by Jim Jones, the leader of the People's Temple. The original quote is, "I'm going to tell you, Christine, without me, life has no meaning. I'm the best friend you'll ever have." In this quote, Jones is addressing Christine Miller, a prominent member of the People's Temple who attempted to dissuade the Jonestown leadership from the mass suicide, though she was ultimately unsuccessful and lost her life along with the rest of the 900 plus victims. But yeah, it's just absolutely awful. I think there was like fewer than, I think under 100 people survived. It's mad. Anyway, it's also worth noting that there is an alternative demo titled Poison/Dogs, in which homage is paid to Christine Miller rather than Eileen Wuornos, drawing a more direct link to the Jonestown massacre. Okay, that's very interesting. Okay, so let's keep going with this.
I'll only say this once. I am the best friend you will ever have.
Gorgeous voice.
So will you join me? If you lay your life down, no man can take it.
Wow. Horrible. It oddly ties into the rest of the album, doesn't it?
Body, so no man can break it. Eileen, I'll only say this once. Life is cruel, and time heals nothing. And everyone you love will leave you. Not
It's kind of like a wind sound in the background. It sounds like screams.
Will you join me? If you lay your life down, no man can take it.
That's interesting.
Join me. Will you join me? Will you join me? Make worthless your body so no man can break it.
Yeah, so it looks like Eileen, who she's on about, is actually a serial killer herself, who, while engaging in street prostitution along highways in Florida, she shot dead and robbed 7 of her male clients. I think I know about this one as well. I feel like I think she might have been a lesbian as well because of what men had done to her or something. And her and this, her partner would kind of go do these things together at one point. I'm not sure, I might be getting the story wrong, but I do think it is her, because she'd gone through such awful things. But it's interesting in this song that it's like saying, will you basically end your life before a man can do that, you know? But if you think about Eileen, it's actually like that already kind of happened to her, and she is ending men's lives rather than them ending hers. But maybe it's all been said before she done the killing, you know? Like, don't let these men take it from you by you killing them. But that would also contradict what, you know, has been said in this whole album, where it comes to Lingua's kind of fantasies of killing those who've hurt her. I don't know. Let's just keep going. It's interesting.
For yourself. If the poison won't take you, my dogs will. No shadow will darken your door like mine will.
Interesting. Ooh. Terrifying! Fucking scary. Feels murderous. It actually feels like killing. Not that I know what that feels like, but I mean, like, it feels like, yeah, murderous. Definitely. Like a zombie. Like a maniac. Oh, the way it changed, like, maniac. Woo! Oh, I didn't mean to shout there. Mad. Alright, well, I was also reading here, on Genius actually says, this song is about the infamous female serial killer Aileen Wuornos, and how Kristen herself feels she can relate to the physical, hurt that Aileen went through growing up, and in a way feels pity over the horrible life she had growing up, and even goes to call her best friend, which may have been just what she needed to have not gone down the murderous path she did, to not have gone down the murderous path that she did. Yeah, like maybe she just needed a friend sort of thing. I don't really think it works like that, but I do like the sentiment. Needed a bit of love for sure, but mainly didn't need like awful things to happen to her in the first place. But yeah, I can totally see why Kristen and Lingua would have sympathy for Aileen, just as I did when I heard the story myself. It's an act of vengeance in a way. Yeah, trauma's also a bitch though, do you know what I mean? And whatever, but I don't know. I do actually really understand where she's coming from, because of her own fantasies of hurting those who have hurt her and so on. And there's this woman, Aileen, who's actually carrying that out. But I guess when you actually look at someone who's done it and then you look at your fantasies of it, you can really feel the difference of, okay, well, at least like I don't feel like I want to do that exactly. I don't know, it can humble you in a way. But anyway, next song is called Day of Tears and Mourning. Looks like this one has one lyric. Or no lyrics. Non-lyrical vocals. Okay. Knew it. I knew there'd be something terrifying coming. I like that. The way it just gets like dragged down. Boom, 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 boom. intense. It's intense and I loved it. For me, I feel like I don't have a favourite. I feel like they all have their own essence. I literally don't have a favourite. Okay, this one is called Sorrow, Sorrow, Sorrow. It's just like rolling something along the pavement. And then it breaks. Yeah, like a glass, like a bottle. It was a glass bottle. Saying that again. Doing overtones. It's really, really nice to listen to. Oh, that's so beautiful. Wow.
I'm much happier when you're
Today I rejoice.
I can sit here and stew with my anger and my frustration.
Okay, I'm going to pause it. It's coming towards the end, actually. Well, it's got 2 more minutes, so that's pretty good. But just want to read what that whole little bit there was. The verse is overshadowed by a sample of Metallica's drummer Lars Ulrich feeling bitter and defeated while eating a sandwich. Kristen explained the reasons as, I put this in there to make fun of myself and perhaps to express what I know some people are thinking while they listen to me, but also to pay homage to something that commonly happens when I play. Someone talking during the quiet part of the set. So in a way, yeah, it's almost like an inside joke to herself, and I find that really interesting to do with such a heavy album. Something kind of it's all been very dark and emotive, and this song definitely feels emotive, and that's like actually being quite comical. I keep getting terrified it's going to go into a huge thrashing sound at the end. I wonder if she's done that on purpose. This next one's probably going to blast my head off or something. Never safe, never safe. There's going to be another head blaster at some point, and it's going to freak me out. But that song was really good. I like that one. So beautiful as well. Honestly, I feel like they're all on par at the moment. I don't have a favourite. I really don't. Oh yeah, this song is called Spite Alone Holds Me Aloft. So nice to sing to. Because actually this sound allows you to do a lot with your vocal, because it's so drawn out and like doesn't move in too many crazy ways. It's oddly simple. Oh my gosh, I love the way she said that.
Betray me.
Wow, yeah. That is so scary. The way that sounds, it's not like the, you know, it's got that zombie kind of sound again, that like, rather than a, you know, it's got that like real like, it's like kind of gross, it's like disgusting, it's demonic, it's like a gremlin, it's evil, rather than like pained. It's aggressive and snarling and creepy. Yeah, and it matches the words. I love her voice there. Betray me. Sorry. Betray me. Oh. I love that. Again, saying something so, you know, aggressive, but in that like soft way. It's like so beautifully sang. So interesting. Wow. Oh, I suppose her saying "spite alone keeps me aloft" or whatever, holds me aloft, and then being like "kill them all," and it all feels really like kind of angelic here, a little bit heavenly, slightly in a Lingua way, and aloft being overhead, being higher, mightier sort of thing. It almost is like she's above them all, going "kill them all," like directing them, like yes, kill them, kill on, like she is almost God herself in a way. That's interesting. Before it goes into that, it's interesting because with the overlaying of sounds, it says "kill them all," and she says "hold to me aloft." Sometimes the mixture can sound like she's saying "killed me off," "killed me off." You know, I don't know if that's intentional, but it's there. It might have been a happy accident, But that's kind of interesting in itself. It's like, kill them all, you know, I'm above this, but also the spite has killed her too as well. I don't know, maybe I'm a bit crazy, but I could hear that a little bit. All right, next song is called Effing Death Dealer. I'm surprised that I've gotten this far, if I'm honest. Like, I know I was told it's very emotional, but I suppose in some ways the way it's written isn't so on the nose or like too obvious. I think different things can make me feel emotional, if that makes sense. It's interesting. Actually, I find a lot of understanding in this. It makes me sad in a way that I don't want her to feel this way. That's the feeling I feel. I understand why she did or feel this way during the album, because I've been there and I can still be there at times. But yeah, it does make me sad, because obviously it's not the way you want to live your life. I don't, you know, like just living off of hatred and anger because of what happened to you. Of course you want to find a place where you feel better. You know, she says time will heal, but it doesn't, sort of thing, in one of the songs. And it's true and it's not true. Like, time does heal, yes, but also it never really goes away. So it's like one of those ones where I almost, like, I don't relate fully because I'm in a different place. I can relate on a bad day though. You know what I mean? It's a difficult one. Still, nonetheless, it's a really heavy album. And I do wonder, like, how people can listen to it on repeat. Do they? Or do they have like special moments when they want to hear it? Because to me, it's not particularly music in a way where it's like, oh, let's put a song on. It's actually more of an experience, more of like a moment. It's musical. The sense of it is musical, but the album to me isn't a musical album. The album to me is an expression of pain. It's an expression. Yeah, it's interesting. The music just like carries it, you know, brings it to light and colour like a movie would, or a book. Beautiful. I like that. I'm still scared it's going to do something crazy. Interesting. That high vocal. Insane.
I'm the fucking death dealer.
It's interesting that she's like carrying on that mantra right now from like near the start of the album. So just to remind you. Yeah. Wow. When she says, if you don't fear me yet, you will, and there's only one last song left, I feel like this one's going to be absolutely terrifying. And it's called I Am the Beast. I fear you, okay? I don't fear her at all, actually. I feel for her. But I would fear her if I was, you know, a man. A straight, horrible man. Ooh. That sounds really cool. I am grief. I am grief. One hell of a thing to be. Beast he named me as well. Sounds awful. Actually, I wanted to say, like, reading that, like, you know, beast I am, like, beast he named me or whatever. I am grief. Like, is this the horrible man or horrible person, you know, saying that she's a beast and so on? And when she says I am grief, it sounds like, you know, the saying, oh, stop giving me grief. You're giving me grief about this, that and the other. It's like, stop nagging, or like, stop, you know, making me miserable. Stop like going on and on about something. Obviously that's more of a lighter thing, but saying I am grief is awful. It's like I am literally death and the feeling of what death feels like from a loved one. It sounds just awful. And then the saying come claim me is like saying after this man was done with her and she's already been told she's a beast, she's already been told she's grief herself, she's now like almost speaking to other people like, come claim me, is this what you want? You know, I'm grief, I'm a beast, I'm awful, you know, come on, come claim me. She doesn't, you know, she doesn't think anyone will claim her. Wow. In a weird way, this one hurts me the most. Okay, without reading into that line, all I want is boundless love. Like, it, and that high harmony sounding so gentle. It felt like a very soft, vulnerable, sweet, inner child version of Lingua, really, for the first time on the whole album, actually saying, all I want is boundless love. Like, throughout all of this, I am angry and all the pain. I just want boundless love. And then I know next it says, all I know is violence. All I know is violence. So it's like, you know, she wants all that love, but she doesn't know how to get it because she just feels the trauma from what happened to her. And she just feels like she wants to hurt like men now because of what like they had done to her. And she is almost sad about it at the same time. She's like, I want to feel love, but how do I trust? How do I believe? How do I know, you know, like believe anything different about them now? I can't let my walls down because something terrible could happen again. And I really understand that. Not just her thoughts of violence, but the violence that she has had put onto her. She doesn't sound happy about that. Yeah. Knew that was coming. I knew it this time. Didn't even scare me that much. That much. Still scary. Right, I know it's so weird to pause in the middle of that, but I have to. You know, what I can see is like this whole bit before that feels like she's like in this bed on her own singing this, and it's actually quite delicate, it's very white and so on. That's what I was seeing beforehand. And she's like, all I know is violence. It's almost like a prayer, and like it's just like there's something beautiful and vulnerable about it too. But now in this moment, just praise me. I see that violent part of her, like reaching up, that anger part, that power part, reaching up and being like, you called me a beast, and now I am the beast, but praise me. I know I'm the beast. Praise me for the beast I am. You know, yes, I am the beast. But I also feel the desperation again. I can actually see her like crawling out of like an old well, like a really tall well though. It's almost like oblivion down there. And she's just like grabbing onto like the, you know, wet sides, and it's all like muddy and gritty, and she's in her white dress still, but she's just going, praise me! You know, she's screaming upwards at whoever is there. And it's desperation. It's not like this feeling of grandiosity. There's still something very sad about it, rather than grandiose, I feel. Accepting the beast, but not in a powerful way. The way that ends so abrupt. God, I'm going to tell you what I saw. I don't know if you're going to like it, but as it all kind of closed out after, you know, after she finished her praise me's, it kind of went into like this odd feeling, this sound, where actually I felt like I could see her letting go of the sides of the walls and falling into that oblivion. Oh, this is awful. And as she looked up, the horrible man was kind of just watching her fall. I actually felt like she had lost in that moment. And as those little strings kind of came in, it actually felt oddly blissful, like now that she had fallen into oblivion, she had landed into something where she was actually free of hate and violence, and that was death. I'm just saying what I saw. I mean, I know it's morbid, but it's what I saw. She was finally free of it though, but she was free within death. And you know, it goes off of what she's been saying throughout the album. It doesn't feel like a happy ending, and I don't think it's meant to. However, you know, some people might see it the other way. Praise me, beast I am. It's her taking the power back and being like, yeah, I'll be a fucking beast. Now you'll fear me. Like, look at me, I'm the beast, now praise me instead of put me down. You know, there is a good side to it. It's just not the side, it's not what I saw in my imagery, and I can't really help the way where my mind goes, you know. In a weird way, this album feels like a place that I can go, and it feels like a road that I could have gone down further if it wasn't for the love I do have in my life and the care I have. But it is a place I have been as well. So I have been in this place heavily, like maybe in a different way. Everyone's thing is unique. Maybe not so much anger, more making up reasons for why things happened. You know, like even like fantastical things that aren't real with like in the world that I would make up as reasons for why horrible things would keep happening to me, so much so that I believed I was put on earth by demons as a sex object. And once I'd become aware to the fact, I felt like I had to be on the run from these demons, and they were gonna like come and get me and kill me. It just turned into a full-blown psychosis. But you know, everyone does it in different ways. Hers is through rage and anger. And, you know, mine was to be like, no, it can't be just because it happened. It can't just be this keeps happening to me because for no reason. There has to be a reason. That's what my pain was. That's where my anger lay, and so on. So I don't know. It's a very interesting album, and one where, yeah, if I'm honest, I want to just be like, no, I don't want you to feel like that. Yeah, I don't. Like, why would I? I want you to feel better. I want you to feel love and kindness and trust. You know, even if it's not perfect, just a little bit of it. I don't want you to feel rage and deathliness, you know. And maybe she doesn't as time goes on. Obviously, I've listened to Sinner Get Ready. Not as heavy as this one, but still heavy moments. You know, so I don't know where she's at now, but I hope it's not all anger. And I hope there is some healing. Hopefully this music can heal her. I don't know. It's difficult, isn't it? But anyway, I really hope you enjoyed my reaction. I feel very thoughtful now, but not in a bad way. I'm just like, wow, okay. I just listened to a full-blown horror movie which relates to literally my life. Certain things I've gone through. It's like, okay, quite heavy, you know. But no, I really enjoyed it. I don't have a favourite song. I think it's impossible to have a favourite, in my personal opinion, for this album. For me, I don't know if it would work like that for me. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed. Do like and subscribe, and I will see you next time. Bye.